It's Brian Preston, the Money Guy.
Our last question is from Houston, and he had a question I thought you'd like about electric cars.
Uh-oh.
So Houston says his wife and he are in their late 30s with a savings rate of 35%. And if we're investing at such a high rate and we have money left over, is buying a luxury car, and he said Rivian specifically, that we have been wanting, still a bad choice?
Well, I don't think, look, I think buying those nice vehicles, that is more of a step 8 type process. If you're looking at the 9 steps of the financial order of operations, but it also falls into, what are you doing on our 23-8 plan? This is why we give you these rules. I want you to have some solid understanding of why we did this. When I came up with 23-8, my goal was, I know we're in this unique time right now where used cars are appreciating better than the S&P 500. What a weird, quirky world we live in right now. But that won't last forever. Cars long term are typically not great investments because they depreciate rapidly. You have to pay to maintain them. You have to pay to put fuel inside of them. And it's just, there's a lot of things, and they get antiquated rapidly. So the thought of all that means these things aren't great for your finances. So I always hate when, and I'm skipping the step of, I see so many people have bigger car payments than they do what they're saving and investing monthly for the future, like in their Roth IRAs and their 401ks. All that is a disaster over the long term. But if you were saving 30% of your income and you've been doing this well, and you know that you can save up enough money to essentially pay 12 months same as cash on a luxury brand like Rivian, I think it's okay. Because I do think, I will tell you, electric vehicles, because you guys debate me all the time. We even did a show on it. Tesla, for sure, because I know you're asking about Rivian, but I know a lot more about Tesla. But I think we'll see what happens with Rivian. I know I have a friend who I went out to dinner with this weekend. He put in a deposit on the Rivian's SUV, and I'm excited when they get this car. Because I can't wait to check it out, because I do think there's a lot of benefits with electric vehicles, especially for day-to-day driving. Now, road trips, until we get to 400 to 500 miles easily in an electric car. Road trips, I've done them. Like my wife and I went to Augusta, Georgia recently. We took the Tesla. And it was awesome, but you're stopping every 2 hours, and you're going to stop for 20 to 30 minutes to charge it up. It makes road trips a little longer, but I do think the electrification of cars, especially if they get the battery technology to where it can go to 400 or 500 miles, it's going to be a game changer. But you just need to make sure, and I know a lot of you push, and this is the point I was getting to, is that Teslas, a lot of people are saying, hey, go do this before you do a Honda Accord, because, the savings and how long these things go. But I think that's a little optimistic in the fact that I still would rather you make sure, because I don't want you taking out those 72-month loan those loan terms, because I'd rather you focus on making you truly sure you can truly afford this car. And that's why when we do 23-8, we do 20% down. Don't finance it longer than 3 years. Make sure the payments don't exceed 8% of your income. And then realize that's with basic brands. A brand like Rivian, I want it 12 months, same as cash. And that's the part you're in. So as long as you've saved up enough cash that you can pay this vehicle off within 12 months, I think there's nothing wrong with buying that Rivian, especially if it's not causing you to neglect the other financial order of operations and the steps you've already built towards your savings and your investments.
Yeah, I get where Houston's coming from there. It's natural to feel a little guilty when you're considering buying a luxury car. But if you have all your ducks in a row, you're saving 35%. It sounds like you know what you're doing. If you can follow our rules, electric definitely isn't a bad choice, especially with gas prices the way they are right now. I
think a lot of people, like when they hire a financial advisor, they think that we sit around and it's kind of like how Susie Orman used to have her show, and it cracked me up when people would call in and they'd ask, hey, can I go on vacation? And she'd go, no. And then, hey, can I do this? No. It was like I think the success of her show was generated off of everybody getting excited watching her basically swat out people's financial requests and goals and so forth. I think people would be shocked to find out us as financial advisors, we actually get one of my favorite things with my job is I get to give people permission to go actually enjoy your money. I mean, you've saved this money. You've done what you're supposed to. That's why we came up with the financial order of operations. If you respect the financial order of operations, do what you're supposed to. This is supposed to be a liberating tool that you can go spend your money guilt-free on things that you get enjoyment out of, instead of always feeling like, man, I don't know that I can spend that money because I feel really guilty about it. Use the financial order of operations to also be that liberation tool, not just the tool of saying no, no, no to everything that you want to do financially. And I think you'll have a better, happier relationship with every dollar that's entrusted to you.